Hi, I'm your host Vasco Duarte. Welcome to the Scrum-Master Toolbox podcast, where we share tips and tricks from Scrum Masters around the world. Every day, we bring you inspiring answers to important questions that all Scrum Masters face day after day. Hello everybody, welcome to our Wednesday Leading Change episode, this week with Dov Tsal. Hi Dov, welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So Dov, on Wednesdays, we want to explore your experience and, of course, the lessons you took from working with change. Because after all, as Scrum Masters, we are working with change every single day. Sometimes our own personal change, other times the team, the organization, whatever that might be. So share with us a story, a process of change that you were involved with, and walk us through how it went, but highlight also the tools, the tips, the tricks, the techniques you learned back then that you still apply today.
Yeah. So the main trick that I had up to these COVID times is that on the first time that I come into my new desk, I sit on the chair and it's really uncomfortable because I'm a tall guy and usually chairs are too short, and also tables, by the way. On the second time, I come with two things, one a plier and two an inflatable ball. And then I go under the desk, like a garage, and I just work to make the table as high as possible, and I put some stacks of paper under it. And then I just, in the middle of the office, start inflating my green big jumping ball. And whoever is triggered by this is the person that I need to speak with. And it works like magic. So every time I tried it, it pinpointed exactly the person who is the linchpin that can block or enable change. And once I worked in Thailand in an insurance company, and the person who passed was the CTO. No, sorry, the CEO. The CEO.
That's actually a great point. It sounds to me that you're describing for us a potential first step in a change process, which is, finding the right person. And you were talking about that particular method you used of inflating the ball and raising the desk. What other things have worked for you in finding that linchpin for change, as you describe it?
Yeah. So. A lot of free time. Spend time in the coffee. Don't spend time at your desk. Any time that you have a free time, just spend it in the coffee corner and see who talks to whom about what. Put some, just like the ball, by the way, put some funny posters with sayings like, there is a saying that I like, and I put it a lot. Before you judge someone, you should walk a mile in their shoes. That way, when you judge them, you're a mile away and you have their shoes. What I'm saying, put all over some hooks for people to smile and to challenge what they see. Because what I love about this phrase, the first part of the phrase totally. And then you read the second part, and it challenges everything you know. Okay, so plant a lot of seeds, like a lot of funny, intriguing things and this is a big one, don't threat anyone directly. Because I think the people who are looking, like these linchpins, as I call them, they are afraid of change. So you have to make it digestible and think every time, like this is a bigger one, it's the what's in it for me. Like if I want you to change, it will never work unless I understand why Vasco will gain something from what I want him to do.
And that's something that, of course, brings us to that conversation that you just talked about triggering, right? Because we need to understand what we are there to offer all of the stakeholders, including the linchpins, as you described.
Mainly the linchpins.
So we have triggered that conversation. We have that first conversation with the linchpin. What happens next?
Yeah, so like I can tell you a small story that I had with this CEO. Um, I was working with HR over there for a mission of happy employees and self-learning organization. Okay, and as part of this, I sent to a big distribution list a book about Management 3.0. And of course, no one opened it, but the CEO opened it. And in the first page, it says something about carry a cube in your pocket. And when you don't know how to decide, throw a cube. So he wrote to me, this is a good idea. I will buy a huge fluffy cube and put it on the desk. And of course, I knew that he wouldn't do it. So I bought a small cube and I knocked politely on his desk. I said, because you said you will buy the big one, here's a small one until you buy the big one, and then you can give it back to me. Okay. And so this turned to a process where at the end, it's not the end, but like the highlight of this process was that I was able to define in the whole organization, which is a few thousand people, something called No Meeting Friday. So what I'm saying, plant seeds and see where they go. There's no tools, just like Scrum, there's nothing that works always. The more small things you plant and the more closely you watch them grow, something will grow.
It sounds to me that what you say when you say plant seeds, as you describe those moments, it sounds that those seeds that you are talking about are relationships.
Perhaps, yes, you're right. But it's not the relationship between me and you, but me asking all the time the question, how can I help you? And in fact, currently, when I start talking with someone that I don't know, my first question is, so how can I help you?
And how does that help you as a Scrum Master bringing change? When you start that conversation by asking the question, how can I help you? Like what flows from there? How does that help you with the change process?
What do you mean it helps me? My goal is to help you. My goal is not to help. We are change agents. Change agents, it's like, how do you call it? Enzymes, right? So as an enzyme, I have no goal, but if you put me in the right place, there will be a chemical reaction. So when I ask, how can I help you? I'm trying to see if my change ability, my ideas of how things can be different, never mind better or worse. I can help you go left and go right. When I say, how can I help you? I understand where you want to go. And then if I have tools that can help you go there, if I have ideas how to go there, or if I see, by the way, that your answer is not clear enough, and just by asking you what you mean, I can help you clarify where you want to go or what sort of help you might use, I'm already helping.
That brings the thought to my mind that one of the roles we have as change agents and Scrum Masters is that we trigger those conversations that actually clarify the shared direction, right? Because if it's only one person that wants something, that's not going to happen because there's all other people not wanting that, right? But as we ask that question, how can I help you? And as we help the whole organization or the whole team clarify what they mean, then they can find a common direction. And that I think crystallizes, makes change real.
Yeah, for sure. And I thought of another exercise that I love to do in teams is when there is a team talk, I leave one chair empty. And this is the chair of the team. And then when I say, so what do you want to achieve next sprint? And everyone says what they do, what they want. I ask, can someone sit in the chair of the team and say what the team wants to achieve? So what I'm saying is bring into view, make visible the fact that there is one entity that doesn't have a mouth, but is very clear there, which is the organization, the team, the project, the department, the community,
the collective.
And, yes, and give some voice to it.
Yeah, those are great tips for change and for starting conversations about change. Thank you for sharing that, Dov.
My pleasure as always.
Leading change is one of the core skills we must acquire, but it is only one of the steps towards our success as Scrum Masters. Tomorrow, on Success Thursday, we will talk about how to define success for the Scrum Master role, we'll cover tips on how to measure your way to that position, and most importantly, how to develop that focus on continuous improvement that is as important for Scrum Masters as it is for teams. See you tomorrow. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.